These libertarian science-based folks in Silicon Valley, they made a very practical decision. These are rich men who have decided to back the Republican Party that tends to do good things for rich men. And these rich men include Tim Cook, Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk. These are people who have been part of the Democratic Party for a very long time, huge donors to the Democratic Party, and they all made this sort of flip. Do you think it was just pragmatically based upon the desire to have less regulations, a better business environment to personally make more money? Or do you think there were other things at work with the loss in 2024?
Well, I don't think you can reduce it to any one thing, but I certainly think that's part of the story. It's no secret that Republican policies tend to favor people who are wealthier. And a lot of the people who drifted away from the Democratic Party, at least the ones who were getting a lot of attention, like how could these business figures, investors, billionaires have gotten away from Democrats and gone to Republicans, might be kind of a dog bites man story, like not something that's wildly complicated if you look at the fact that, Democrats have been extremely concerned about wealth and income inequality. And, you got a lot of very, very wealthy people. I don't think it was just that. I mean, I think there are a lot of things that kind of combined at once. But, for a lot of my friends who are scratching their heads saying, wait a minute, these are folks who are from the tech and science world. How could they back a president or administration that's been deleting references to science and kind of censoring science, at least any time that climate is concerned? A lot of these guys are libertarian. How could they be on board with the administration that is sending troops into streets and has really let it crack down on freedom? That's kind of something out of the fever dreams of my conservative and libertarian friends back when we were, arguing about politics over beers that I never thought I would see happen. Some of these folks are gay, and how can they be backing an administration that's, really assaulted LGBT rights? And, if you just go down the list, there's a lot of things that are counterintuitive about some of these Silicon Valley leaders who flipped, in many cases, flipped from being very, very active Democrats to backing Trump. And, maybe there's an intuitive answer to that counterintuitive thing, which is that many of them feel their short-term business interests or personal financial interests are better served by Republicans. I get that. I would counter, as I think a lot of people in Silicon Valley who are still Democrats would, that, look, a healthy business environment, you don't want to be overregulated, but you also want to make sure you're in an environment with rule of law. You want to be in a place where it's safe to say scientific truths out loud. You want to be in a place where somebody can't impose their interpretation of their religion on other people. I have a whole counter to that. But I think that's the kind of swirl that we got into, definitely just in those short years between 2020 and 24.